Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to look at some untranslated manga that I bought because I'm a huge fucking weeaboo. So, I found this at a used comic book store. Now, clearly, this person was in Japan for about 2 weeks in the year 1990. And they just collected a bunch of shonen manga while they were there. And then eventually sold it off for God knows why. This could be some dead guy's manga collection. But we're going to start right from the top with our first issue here. This is Shonen Sunday, otherwise known as Shonen Sunday. This is the manga you would get on Sunday, clearly. Now on the cover here, we can see the Tatoe Bakona Rabu Songu. Something stupid love song, I don't know. These guys look like they have a love song. And we have the list of series that are in here. I'm guessing that's the Shonen Sunday mascot. I know that Shounen Jump has one. So let's see here. What's cool is that when you open it right up, you get some oh, am I starting with the right one? Oh, I'm starting with the 28. Forgive me, I'm going backwards in time. But we got some full color pages here for the Rabu song. This is called Heartache? Okay. So, we got some full color pages, but look! When you get in, it's a full advertisement for Batman! 90s. 90s. New hero. Batman. Alright, we have a whole web of connections here, including like some illustrations of different characters, which is interesting. It's kind of laid out like those pages on manga volumes that trying to catch you up with the story. Then we get BB. This looks like a boxing manga, or at least had a boxing arc in it. Oh! Okay, now here's the important part. What's that? If you're not familiar, you might not recognize it. What could this be? What could this be? What is this thing? Oh, ready? Look at that. It's Patlabor. This was the arc that was later adapted in the anime, the Griffin arc, and personally, it's one of my favorite parts of Patlabor. I think the Griffin arc kind of is why a lot of people still like the Patlabor TV series. It really just ties together a bunch of solid episodes into one whole thing. And the art here isn't too bad either. People probably, if they don't know the mangaka from Patlabor, they almost certainly know him from Birdie the Mighty, which had Birdie the Mighty Decode. It was kind of popular a while ago. This looks like the anime translated it pretty faithfully, because those are like shot-for-shot scenes from the anime. I gotta say, like, when are we gonna get this whole thing translated? Sports manga seems to be a pretty big focus in these. Nearly every single sport is represented, including golfing for some reason. I don't know. This is a whole manga about golf, and apparently it's so dramatic that it gets the special red and orange pages. I don't know. It's golf. This is the most anime golf ever. Like, that's exactly how you would expect a manga about golf to be. And look, they even have a whole, like, thing. It's something. It's something, alright. That it sure is. Now here's something you guys will recognize. Ranma 1/2. Yeah. I was never into Ranma. Urusei Yatsura is the best thing that Rumiko Takahashi has ever done. Ranma's okay. I think I'd like it because I like Ryunosuke, but I read a couple volumes of the manga and it never really caught my attention too much. Also, very important, the full page spread of Ramu. Now here's where you get all your merchandise. You can get your Famicom game of Final Mission. You can get your core graphics. You can get your glue guns. Hey, Patlabor! You can get a little Patlabor shirt. Check that out. Goodbye, Shonen Sunday. And hello, Shonen Sunday. This is from a week before, and this is going to be the only one that we do out of order, sort of. This has, obviously, Ushio Totora. Yeah, people would probably know that from the more recent anime. I never watched it, but honestly, now having seen some of the manga untranslated, I'm kind of more interested in it now. Also, look at that! 190 yen for this. Holy shit. That's insane. Just imagine, like, a Western comic book, you're buying for the same amount, and you get, like, a 20-page story that isn't finished. Instead, here, you get, like, 50 20-page stories that aren't finished. Point being, you get a lot more out of this than you would with a Western comic. We're going to probably skip over to just look at some series that we didn't have before. We got foes. Also, we have this advertisement for a very real-looking model gun, which is just kind of funny. The Super Stabilizer. We get this awesome full orange pages here for Ushio Totora. And it's pretty graphic and pretty cool. Look at that. That's awesome. That's cool. This really makes me want to look into either reading the manga or watching the anime, because as far as action goes, it looks great. It looks like there's plenty of that. I don't really need to understand Japanese to get what's going on in this page, and I like that. I like that a lot. Also, yokais are, like, cool. Damn! What's this whitey doing here? You get lost? Anime booze. It's kind of funny, because stuff like this now, I'm sure in Shonen Sunday, like, it was all the rage, but now with the ease of access to, and the amount of variety in anime porn, this is really just kind of tame. Unless you have some sort of emotional attachment to this girl, it's really just kind of whatever. For those of you not in the know, this guy right here, Yaiba. You might be able to tell here. Yaiba is the manga that the man who would later go on to create Detective Conan made before Detective Conan, and I'm going to fact check that right after I save this video. Yaiba has never had the sort of popularity that Detective Conan has had, obviously. It's even less represented than his stuff like Magic Kaito. So that's Shonen Sunday. It's kind of these two are kind of a mixed bag here. Not mixed in terms of quality, because clearly you got like some Ushi Totora and other stuff. It's more mixed in just variety. You got some supernatural power action manga, then you also have some like romance. Then clearly you have like fighting sports like BB, Nori, and you have golfing for some reason. So it's kind of just all over the place. If you're gonna buy a Shonen Sunday in the year 1990, it's probably a good option if you like that variety. Title says it all. This is Shonen Magazine. Quite literally, a shonen magazine. We'll see how it's different from Shonen Sunday. I feel like this is going to be the one that we go through quicker. I don't know. Just a hunch. Just a hunch here. Baseball team and one girl. Nothing suspicious there. Don't know what she's doing with that baseball team. This is insane. Like, you saw these ads in all the comic books all the time where they just shove as much shit into this space as possible, but it's so weird seeing, like, Japanese version of that, especially where they're focused on women? This is for young boys, and is that porn? It's kind of funny. It's funny to see the porn right next to the slingshots there. Alright, so we got baseball. Baseball's the type of manga you would expect, because that baseball is like big in Japan. And you would expect that more than golf. You'd expect that you can make a good baseball story more than you can make a good golf story. Toremazu! This is a full-page advertisement for Tremors, the giant worm movie. That is so weird. And if you look at a lot of Japanese stuff, like, from around this time, there's just a lot of Tremors posters. It was everywhere. Anyways, Super Dr. K. Why have I not heard about this before? Is this... I'm sorry. Is this a JoJo? Is this a JoJo thing? Did Araki draw this? There's no way. I've never heard about this before. He didn't. What is this? Why is he wearing a cape? Daijobu. That's what he's saying. This just looks insane. Like, this man's a doctor. I mean, I think he is. I'm honestly just guessing. House doesn't have anything on this. I want to see Blackjack and this guy face off. I think that'd be good. This honestly looks like JoJo fanfiction. I'm sorry. It looks like somebody really liked either JoJo or Fist of the North Star. I think it's a pretty fair assessment here to say that maybe this was inspired by the popularity of Part 3. Also, Suki ni shite. The tiger likes wearing a bra? Why? Neko de gomen. And there's a fucking cat girl. Yeah. Wait, what? Oh. This is the cat girl manga. I don't know. I don't know what the premise is. She doesn't have cat ears in, like, the manga itself. So, is she like... Oh, I guess she's like maybe a cat turned into a human? Wait. There's like a... Oh, did she switch minds with the cat? I don't know. Whoa! There's a... Shit! Oh, what's this character? She has gigantic anime breasts. Dedikuto. Look, you got a whole panel of these two characters trapped in a closet and their breasts are touching. Cool. At this point, it's like, whatever. Thanks. I'm not even, like, against... The fuck? That isn't printed in... That isn't printed in the actual manga, I don't think. Somebody pasted that on. Why would they do that? No, what? What is this? Of Prime About Small. Why does her shirt change the English words every single Todd? Few writers. What is this? I'm baffled now. This is either somebody's prank or this is the manga itself just putting any English text. She explains hung by color. It says ultimate postponed until. This is them putting literally any English text on her shirt and it changes every single panel. Somebody had fun with that. Hey, and there's our boy Ippo. Yeah, you thought BB was rad? Nah, Ippo. Hajime no Ippo's where it's at. The fighting. Look at that. This is where boxing manga peaks. Hold on a second. We flipped. That's not Ippo. This still is. But let's find out what the fuck's going on there. Looks like there's a card pad. Okay, this is Shino Tomashiki. I'm mispronouncing that. Oh! Of course. Makes perfect sense. The fuck is going on? What is this? Is this an Aaron manga? This is an Aaron manga. This is some fucking satanic shit here. I don't know if I should be holding this book. Something's going on. And now she's dead. Cool. He seems happy about that. Three Kingdoms. You can read Three Kingdoms, kids. Don't read the Satan manga. Three Kingdoms. So, that was the first issue of Shonen Magazine. Moving on to the second, and I feel like we're going to move a little bit quicker through this because we've already seen a lot of the stuff in this. This looks like a gag manga, which honestly we haven't spent too much time looking at them because they're all in Japanese, and reading gag manga in a language that you can't understand is basically like not having the jokes. Also, look at these model guns, kids. Ask your parents before buying your MGC new M16A2 carbine. Clearly evolution. This is not a creationist manga, unlike those hacks in Shounen Jump. We got Offsides. That's a manga about tennis? No, it's about soccer. This is a soccer manga. Yeah. Alright. Soccer manga. Cool. I'm telling you, across all of this, every sport is represented in one way or another. Horse racing manga with jockeys and everything. Hey, another baseball manga. Why is there another golf manga? How popular was golfing? Apparently insanely popular. Look at that guy. Sorry, fellas. This is what peak masculinity looks like. And now we got a racing. Dirt bike racing. Look, even billiards. Yeah, that's a manga about billiards. Oh, this is our magic one. Okay. I wanted to see what was going on here. We got... Oh no! We're not gonna be monetized, are we? This has been by far the most surprising manga, because multiple people have died in it, and there's swastikas. I mean, you know, that's not an actual swastika if you want to talk about, like, that's a whole Shinto thing. It denotes where shrines are, and it has some other meanings. You know, it's not a swastika. This is a gag manga. They're coming out of a love hotel, and he just stabs her. This is something, alright? It's pretty grotesque for a gag manga, honestly. And then there's somebody dressed as a literal pile of shit. I think we've gotten everything that we can. So, Shonen Magazine. I was kind of afraid that this recap here was just going to be more of the same. Hey, there's a lot of variety between these two. But honestly, if you're in the mood for a sports manga, and you live in the year 1990 and in Japan, the 1990s issues of shonen manga, that's chock full of it. Aside from that one bizarre black magic story, most of these were grounded in the real world and focused on real world things like sporting events. There were a lot of sports manga, just ones I didn't expect, ever. It seems like this was aimed at maybe a little bit more of an older audience, and maybe a little bit more at a female audience, honestly, with the way that some of these kind of had, you know, like pretty boys, and some more romance focus series. Definitely, if you wanted sports manga in 1990, Shonen Magazine. Ah. And now we move up to our final, last one. This is the big one. You probably already know what it is, baby. This is Shounen Jump. Now, Shounen Jump needs no introduction, really. Video girl, I might, because I need you. This is what I was talking about before. Shonen Jump has their own mascot guy, and there he is. I never understood why it was that. But you're about to see, if you're reading Shonen Jump in the 90s, you are reading maybe some of the best manga that has been written. You know, it's still all shonen manga, but you're reading some high-quality stuff. Let's dig in here. We have a full pull-out thing here, and it looks like you're ordering cells or cards. Well, I mean, these are obviously cards from Dragon Ball. Yeah, and that's Otojuku. Don't know what's down there. Kind of hard. Oh no, there's more Dragon Ball down there. Yeah, Dragon Ball and Dragon Quest, collect them all. Yeah, it looks like this is some card collecting stuff here. Oh, cool, and then you can get Dragon Quest ones too. Oh, and it continues out on the back, yeah. And you can keep track of all the cards that you collected. That's cool. Jock Sports with Fuse, 90s Nujo Sports. Don't know. Okay. Hitler's there. Somebody's about to put their finger up his butt. This guy looks happy with himself. Kind of looks like Bobby Hill.
That's my purse! I don't know you!
That's a Canadian furry there, just like my good friend Argenvolt. Oh yes, the double-page spread Hunt for Red October advertisement. I'm sorry, Batman was in the other Shonen magazine, and this one, with Russian words just going all around here, is a 2-page advertisement for Hunt for Red October. Was this a movie particularly aimed at young boys in Japan? I don't think so. Now here we go. Some Dragon Ball. Alright. And obviously this is taking place right in the middle of the Namek arc, the Frieza saga, whatever you want to call it. I know a lot of people like the Cell saga, but come on, this was definitely a high point in Dragon Ball. Then you turn the page, and what do you have here? Oh, it's just Otojuku, one of the most popular mangas to run in Shonen Jump. And look at these guys. They're badass. Otojuku's great. It never gets any representation. I think just now, really, like, I feel like either it's because I just now know about it, or other people. I feel like it's always been way more popular in Japan than it is in America, and I think only now, when we have the ease of access through the internet, is it finally getting some recognition. Now, this was actually the manga that caught my interest the most. I don't play any Dragon Quest, but this art, this kind of Toriyama-esque, because I don't think it's Toriyama actually doing this. I think it's somebody trying to emulate his style. I'm digging this. I like it. It's simple, and it's cool. It's kind of like a fantasy Dragon Ball Z, which would really be like Dragon Ball, but maybe that's why I'm liking this art. Now this has maybe the best ending page ever, and I'm gonna turn to it. So there's your skeleton, okay? This dragon warrior here has got to be saved, but by who? By a giant crocodile, of course, and his name is Kuraku Dio. Now this is cool. I went and looked this up because I saw this ad. This is actually an early one-shot manga by the guy that would go on to write Claymore. It's pretty neat. It's called Undead Man. and I thought it was pretty cool. Wish it could have gone on for more than just a one-shot. Here's something. Crisis Daiba. It took me forever to find this, because apparently this was reprinted under multiple names. And I still don't know what it's about, because it's like untranslated and unrepresented. But it looks neat. Now here's what actually got me really interested in Crisis Daiba, because that looks cool. You want to know what the fuck's going on with this guy pointing this giant-ass gun, right? Turns out you might never know. Who knows? Untranslated. And look at this. City Hunter! So this is what I'm saying, is like, you have Otojuku. You have what looks like a pretty solid Dragon Quest manga. You have Dragon Ball. All of this going on around the same time. Because we're getting to it. We're in the blues now. We're in the blue pages now, where we have Saint Seiya. I'll have to ask my good friend Aaron about whether or not this was like an important arc. I think this is towards the latter parts of the manga. But you got some classic Saint Seiya stuff going on. Knights of the Zodiac for all you Tokyo Pop fans. Gremlins 2, baby! RoboCop 2, Back to the Future 3. I have no idea why all of these are just focused solely on movies that are English. Maybe that was just the trend at the time, maybe people liked it. Maybe that was like, I don't know. Hey, you might recognize this. It's JoJo. Look at that. This is right in the midst of part 3. Right in that whole stupid arc with Avdol. Say what you will about part 3, but I think it's overrated and it's not that good. But that's just my opinion, man. Part 3 has a very good beginning and it has a very good ending. And then it's kind of a mixed bag in between. Here we have the 26th chapter of Video Girl I, our front cover girl for this issue. This was a series that I think was way more popular back in the day than it is now, obviously. But, you know, it's alright. It's alright. Alright, moving on to our second volume of Shounen Jump. The front cover is, and I'll cut to a voiceover right here.
Hana no Keiji.
Yes, thank you. That's what's on the front cover here. Gremlins 2, baby! Oh, look at all that Gremlins. That's a lot of information that you could ever need to know about Gremlins. Why is Gizmo talking? That's all the information you ever need to know about Gremlins, and all the information you ever need to know about RoboCop, Dragon Ball Z, any of it. What is this? What is this? There's a whole game guide in there. I don't want to, like, rip it, but there's a video game guide. I honestly didn't know that was in there. Okay, so this is the series that's on the cover. I believe it's written by the Fist of the North Star guy. It's called Hana no Keiji. I mean, you can just kind of tell his style immediately. Don't really know what this is about. The protagonist looks like kind of a goofball, which, yeah, is alright. It's fun, probably. So even if you don't have North Star, you still have the remnants of it left over, as you then turn to your Dragon Balls. Honestly, surprised that I have the least to talk about here. Because really, it's just manga that, like, you recognize. Oh, hey, it's that. That's cool. That's the two Shonen Jumps here. And I think, honestly, if you're looking for a good, solid manga in the year 1990, this is just insane how much stuff was just at its peak, or almost about to reach that peak. You had JoJo, Saint Seiya, City Hunter, Dragon Ball, all going on at the same time. There's no wonder that Shonen Jump has this kind of fond reputation for all those series even in the West where we didn't get all of those at the same time. It's kind of by association that they all just made for a really solid magazine. That being said, if there is one thing I'll have to say for Shounen Jump, it's way more focused on action series than it is on anything else, which is fine. Let's get these out next to each other here. So we got 3 shonen magazines here. If you were a kid in the year 1990, which one should you pick out of these 3? Well, unless you're like really exclusively looking for sports manga, I just would not be interested in shonen mag. What I wasn't expecting here, kind of a toss-up, because I feel like in Jump you have these higher highs. You have JoJo, Dragon Ball, and all that. You have these series that would go on and become classics. Also, 10 yen cheap. But in Shonen Sunday, you have much more variety, and a lot of the series featured in it are forgotten but fondly remembered. So, if you had to pick between either, I'd give it to Sunday. Of course, this is assuming that any of this information is relevant to you in the year 2020, or whenever you're watching this video.
And that's the end of this video. This video was nothing like anything I've done before, and I hope it turned out well. If you're here at the end, I really hope that you didn't hate every single second of it. But because it's something so different, please let me know in the comments what you thought, whether I should check out more untranslated things, not even just manga, but untranslated Japanese stuff. I can try to understand it as best I can, but it's kind of like treasure hunting, and I like that. I've been very busy lately, and I wish I had more time to put out more videos, but we're doing the best we can. Hopefully we'll have more stuff soon, at a more regular pace. And if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen. And if you want to keep up to date on when videos come out, or just recommend me some manga or movies to cover on my channel, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheMorlock. And that's about it.